Hello again, Power Ranger family, friends, and fans. It is Steve Andrino, aka Baboo, here on another Monster Monday. So we're ready for another episode of Baboo's Monster Review. And today we are on episode 41 of Season 1. This was the first of the additional episodes that the network called for. Toei had actually 2 monsters left, I think, that were not used in the first 40 episodes, and this was one of them, the Octoplant. Funny, we already had Pine Octopus in Clowning Around, and we have Octoplant. Next season, Season 2, we'll have Octophantom. Kind of wondering if it was Saban himself or somebody else that was just afraid of octopus. Is octopi. I don't know. Anyway, let's jump right into Rita's Seed of Evil. Okay. I'm not quite sure why Mr. Kaplan was here instead of Miss Appleby, but whatever. And again, a little bit of, if we think about what we worry about nowadays with climate change, yeah, we know we still need trees. We've tried to cut down on deforestation and saving the Amazon and all that. Still something going on, but that was kind of funny. Nerds, so absurd. I love how Kimberly figures it out right away. And again, now it's what can we spill on Skull today? Green paint. Of course, again, you don't use real paint for stuff like that just because it's so hard to clean up and get off, especially on costumes and stuff. So it's food-based. In case some gets in the mouth, it's edible. Sure, it doesn't taste great, but, it's not going to be toxic. You wouldn't want a mouthful of real paint. Oh, we got the giant tendrils the size of the earth. I mean, the size of the building is enough, but actually encircling the earth, that's hysterical. Don't know anything that grows quite that big. Just going to randomly pick a spot in the park and plant some trees, because that's okay. Again, I don't know what kind of permission they had to get from Castaic to do this. They probably just put them there and then took them right back out after they were done shooting and put them back in the pots. Probably planted at somebody's house. So, Billy's Special Fertilizer, which looks amazingly like flat cola. Hey, Squat Buddy! Love how they got him backing up and backing into Bulk and Skull. And again, Squat's not a fighter. He's just as startled, maybe, but I guess when he sees them running, he figures I can just scare him off a little bit by dancing in place. Again, it's been a while since we were asked, either of us have been asked to do something specific by Rita, but this time it was just Squat, and he got the job done once again. And the only thing I can blame Baboo or Squat for in any of the episodes was Squat leaving the genie lantern for the Rangers to pick up. Oh, putty fight. See, I'm not even paying attention. There we go. I mean, I'm paying attention because it's... There we go. Nice flying kick by Zach. Again, I like how they each get shots of battling multiple at once, or at least in the background. Again, typical Kimberly doing a gymnastics move into some kicks, but still works. Now, we've seen Billy fighting more recently, doing better, but then he gets his foot stuck in the bucket, and he channels his inner Green Ranger and starts fighting with a weapon. Starts using the bucket. Of course, that is actually a plastic bucket painted silver. Looks like a typical plastic work bucket. The kick actually ended up with Zach on the ground, but, you know, hey, he did his job. Nice split by Trini. I love the shrug afterwards. I don't know. Yeah, you definitely do not want to get trapped in a porta-can for any length of time. Porta-can, porta-john, porta-potty. Heard them called all of those. Oh, look at Billy with the saving move. Whoa. Now, here we go. That's teamwork. By yellow and pink, and teamwork by black and blue. Yeah, you don't want to bounce those around too much because you don't want the liquid in the bottom going anywhere other than the bottom. And the putties disappear. Gee, a distraction? Like it is every other time you fight the putties in your street clothes? Yes. Major disturbance. Earthquake. Yeah, because you're faster than a robot would be, Billy. You think it may tie into all this? Let's see. One of Rita's henchmen is there. Then we get jumped by a group of putties who fight us for a while and then just disappear, even though we don't defeat them. Maybe those two events are tied together. What do you think? Not quite right where you were. And then we have footage of the vine growing and slithering like a snake. Because, yeah, things that, you know, once they bloom, once the seeds pop out of the ground, they grow to full size in no time. I mean, it's a monster, so I get it. You don't even know what it is and you're radioing in. At least check it out first, then radio in. Gotcha. So, the bulb hasn't bloomed, but somehow there's vines somewhere that can just sneak up on them. And he gets one leg, no, then it's the other, and then it looks like his arms are trapped, even though they're not. Spins out of it, but you can't punch and kick a vine. It's not going to do much. Yeah. Because the vines can't affect me if I'm a ranger. Oh, wait, maybe they can. Even though you've got a sword that should be able to cut them very easily, because, I don't know, that's what all gardeners use. Shears and cutting implements to get rid of weeds and vines. use the sword. Oh wait, I know you can't because Zordon didn't tell you to. Ooh, gee, something's wrong. Hey, huh. See, they all know to use their weapons against the plant. For now is right, Goldar. You go finish him off. Like you have not been able to do the last 8 times you fought him face to face. Okay, you're gonna wreck everything. Squat, why were you nodding and laughing? That should have been more of a, oh no. Not the super putties! Yeah, hint, we ain't gonna see these guys anymore after this. And not only do we have, you know, the rock fists, well, putty fists. Now we actually have a couple, I believe, coming up that look like they've got blades! You know, putty blades, although you can see how rubbery they are. They started shaking right away. And then all of a sudden, Billy's got the power lance and is taking care of 4 putties at once. So yeah, his fighting has definitely stepped up some. And we keep getting just the same shot of the bulb underground glowing. Nice little wink there. Now, this is something new. Why come we haven't used this before, Goldar and Scorpina? You guys have teamed up plenty. Now all of a sudden we can bang our weapons together and shoot explosives out and knock down the Rangers. You should have done that before. Nice little topiary. Animal hedges, animal-shaped hedges. And again, Goldar kicking some butt. Handing it to those Rangers. Why is it never enough, Goldar? What's the problem? Uh-oh. Who's the match? Again, love the scorch mark on his chest. Now I'm a nutcase. I mean, you've said this a dozen plus times before. More like, you know, dozens of times. I don't know. Sorry for doubting you, but... And now we have the Octoplant. Again, interesting looking, where you've got the plant head with the flower petals on it. But otherwise, it's just a green spandex suit with some stuff stuck on it. It's more pretty than nasty, I'm going to be honest there. It's it's odd looking. It's not terrifying or terror-inducing. Although, not all of the monsters were. They were just more weird looking. The Minotaur and, you know, King Sphinx, you could have some nightmares about. Pine Octopus was just weird looking with the tentacles. I mean, there were some that are scarier than others. But, you know, Pineapple the Clown, I know clowns are a thing for some people. I don't know how scary they would be overall. Bones may be a little scary looking. I think we got some cooler monsters in Season 2, to be honest, but... And the reverse jumps, love it. Rewind that footage. And there's the Pink Ranger pun. Let's wilt this flower. Again, it looks like a typical Japanese mask, like Madame Woe type mask, but still cool. But yeah, not terrifying. not terribly, detailed. You've got green spandex, you've got some green leaves hanging down, you've got the silver leaves, covering the waist area, and then a little bit on the shoulders and chest, and then around the head. Nothing, not too elaborate, just interesting looking. Okay, so right to crystals. Right to Megazord. Yeah, like Rita, you've never seen them do that before, other than, I don't know, almost every episode. I mean, Terratoad, they didn't. But even Terratoad wasn't quite that scary, just weird looking. But yeah, you can see it's just a basic. Then we've got the vine, which could help. Okay. So that's the weapon. Just like Red Ranger couldn't do anything against the vines earlier. You should have already known that. And she can blast you while you're just standing there. So there you go. Again, another vine. You've already got him tied up. Just wail on him. And here we go. Megazord comes down and slices the vines off of Megazord. Nice roll to pick it up, and then, I don't know, a little Narcissus going on here. Narcissus from Greek mythology fell in love with a reflection of himself. Kind of looks like what Octoplant was doing here, and got distracted long enough to get destroyed by one hit from the Megazord. Now, weren't you saying, my Empress, about victory being assured? And back to these guys stuck in the Porta-John. Alright, now I will say, having worked with these in construction for, the last 8 years on and off, anytime you're transporting these, moving them, lifting them onto a truck, which you're normally doing with a forklift or crane, because you can actually crane them up into structures as well if they've got frames around them, you always check them to make sure nobody's in them before you move them. And if you were moving these by hand, which it looks like you could do, because I don't see, I guess the slots are there for the forklift. But yeah, one, there's an indicator that the door is locked. You pull on the door, you see that it's locked shut. Yes, you can technically open them from the outside in case they get locked accidentally with nobody in there, but you knock, ask if anybody's in there before you move them. So they would not get stuck in them like that. Rita makes everything evil. What's wrong with that? Aw, thanks. And then, yeah, the after effects of hiding in the bushes and then moving around in a fully used Porta-John. You would think he would smell him as soon as he walked up to him. Not. I love the fact that it doesn't affect them at all. I don't know what the problem is. Alright, so there we go. Rita's Seed of Evil. Time-wise. Ooh, short one. Again, not much to say about the costumes. Not much extra stuff to say. Other than, again, this was the first of the extra episodes. And my understanding is first day of filming of the extra 10 was when the studio called and told them it needed to be an extra 20. They had a little bit of Toei footage, but they basically talked them into doing season 2 of Zyuranger because they needed footage. And of course, the Rita footage was already all pretty much used up, which is why that will lead to a new head villain in season 2. You all know who it is already, but let's pretend so I can surprise you all in about 10 weeks. So there we have it. Thanks again for tuning in. Thank you again for everybody that's subscribing. I greatly appreciate it. That count keeps going up. I love seeing that. Thank you all for the likes, for the number of views. I've got some episodes that have got some really nice view amounts. So again, I appreciate it greatly because as you all know, monsters need love too.